Fantasy football is right around the corner, and it is time to try to go make some buy low trades. And I already hear you. You're going to say to me, Caleb, I already drafted my team. Why am I trying to trade them away? Because if you start to look at some of these trades that are already going down, you need to get a jump on your league mates, and I'm going to help you do that today. The first player that you need to be going and trying to buy low is going to be Nico Collins, Houston Texans wide receiver, who is technically going in the back end of the second, early third round of your fantasy football drafts. Last year, Nico Collins was the wide receiver 7 on a points per game basis with 17.4. Now you're going to say to me, well, Caleb, Tank Dell got hurt halfway through the year. Didn't that just benefit Nico Collins because he was the only one getting the ball thrown to him by CJ Stroud? If you actually look at these splits, you're going to see that Nico Collins actually performed better with Tank Dell than without Tank Dell. So as much as I think, Stephon Diggs adding in might hurt and cap his overall upside, I still love this offense going into 2024. And I still think Nico Collins is going to be the clear alpha. When we start to look at some trades that have started to go down for Mr. Nico Collins, we're going to see here Breece Hall for Nico Collins and Kyren Williams. It's the second trade that happened yesterday. It's a 1 quarterback, 12 team start 9. Give me Nico Collins and Kyren Williams. Love that deal for the Nico Collins owner. Dalton Kincaid, Romeo Dubs for Nico Collins and Christian Watson. Next deal down. Give me some Nico Collins. We got Keon Coleman and Joe Mixon for Nico Collins. Give me some Nico Collins. We got Cooper Kupp for Nico Collins straight up. Depending on your flavor, maybe you prefer Cooper Kupp. I prefer Nico Collins, so give me Nico Collins there. We go all the way down to this bottom. We see like Nico Collins for Joe Mixon straight up. Nico Collins for T. Higgins down at 9-1-9-1. 1 QB, 10 team. 1 QB, 12 team. Start 7, start 6. Like, I love both of those deals for Nico Collins. Now, you can see there are some bigger trades where maybe the Nico Collins side does not win out on those trades. But I think the part that I'm trying to say to you is there's action being happened in real leagues right now, and you need to be taking advantage of it to try to bolster your roster. So I'm definitely trying to buy low on Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins is an absolute steal in fantasy football. So go try to make some ADP moves for Nico Collins. The next guy you need to be trying to buy low in your redraft leagues is going to be Deebo Samuel for the 49ers. And if you tuned into this channel 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, you know I haven't been the biggest Deebo Samuel believer truther. So you're going to say to me, well, Caleb, you were kind of telling me I shouldn't be drafting Deebo. Why are you saying to buy low right now? Well, I have come around, done a full 180 on Deebo Samuel. Main reason is if you look at the Vegas sports books, they are projecting that this 49ers offense has the chance to be the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL. And if that actually takes place, that means they're scoring touchdowns. And on the roster, who is that going to benefit the most? That's going to benefit CMC, but that's also going to really benefit Deebo Samuel, who I have talked about being super touchdown dependent the last few years. But if they're going to be scoring the most fantasy football points according to Vegas, which I'm not saying Vegas is always right, I do think this helps Deebo Samuel's overall projection, because last year was a wide receiver 12 on a points per game basis with 16.3. So when I take all of these facts into consideration, and then I start to look at the trade calc and see what trades have been going down in some fantasy football leagues, I start to realize, oh my goodness, there are some deals for Deebo Samuel that I need to start going out and looking and taking advantage of. The first deal that I see here for Deebo Samuel, Devin Singletary and Rachaad White for Deebo Samuel just traded yesterday in a start 8, 1 QB, 10 team league. Give me Deebo Samuel. We got Tua Tagovailoa and Cooper Kupp for the stack of the 49ers with Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel. Give me Deebo Samuel and Brock Purdy there. We got Deebo Samuel for Ladd McConkey and Rachaad White. Give me Deebo Samuel. We got Deebo Samuel and Travis Etienne for Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, Chase Brown. Give me some Deebo Samuel. I think this deal is actually kind of fair. DeAndre Swift, Zay Flowers for Deebo Samuel. Depending on your league, I mean, it's a 10-team start 8, so depth is going to be very important. I probably, just depending on how I drafted, I might lean Deebo Samuel if DeAndre Swift is my like RB2, RB3, but there's a chance, like I said, this is a pretty fair deal. Rachaad White for Deebo Samuel, give me Deebo Samuel. David Montgomery for Jake Ferguson for Deebo Samuel on 9-1, like major deal for Deebo Samuel. So like I said, I don't think you're always going to be able to fleece your league mates, because some of you play in really competitive redraft leagues, but for some of you, I would highly recommend going and sending out some offers for these guys, because we're seeing deals are being done. And if you do not want to miss out, if you want to be early to the party, we want you making these deals. My third player that you need to be going and making some deals for in your fantasy football league that you need to be buying low, it's going to be Alvin Kamara for the New Orleans Saints. And we talked about how Alvin Kamara last year, even post suspension, coming back off of that, only getting 50% of the snaps, he finished as a top 5 wide receiver on a points per game basis. And while that is super important, the New Orleans Saints did nothing this offseason to add any any type of weapons to this offense. So it's the Chris Olave, Alvin Kamara show. And based on that, Alvin Kamara was going off the board as RB17, which I felt like was still criminal, just even though I know he's getting up there in age, going in that 4th round territory. And when we're looking at him, like I said, overall player 49, RB17. And when you start to look at some trades that have been happening for Alvin Kamara, I think some of y'all think that Alvin Kamara is absolutely about to fall off the bandwagon. We start here. Alvin Kamara straight up for Terry McLaurin in a 12-team start 7 1 QB league. Give me Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara for T. Higgins straight up. 1 QB, 12-team, 0.5 PPR. It's 0.5 PPR. Like the running backs in that format get the advantage even for a receiving back like Alvin Kamara. Give me Alvin Kamara. Joe Mixon for Alvin Kamara straight up. You might be a Joe Mixon truther, so you might actually believe Joe Mixon might be more valuable, but give me Alvin Kamara. We go down the board. We look at like Rashad White and Aaron Rodgers traded on 9-1, Jaleel McLaughlin and Alvin Kamara. Give me Alvin Kamara, except they're saying that the swing goes to that because of Aaron Rodgers and that overvalue. But if you already feel good, like I said, I don't need to stash a second backup quarterback on my team. So I'm cool with the Alvin Kamara, Jaleel McLaughlin side. Alvin Kamara for Xavier Legette and James Conner. Give me Alvin Kamara. So I just think I'm continuing to show you trades saying that Alvin Kamara is a great buy low opportunity. So you need to go buy Alvin Kamara low because it's absolutely incredible what his current value is. And my next buy in this video is going to be Dalton Kincaid for the Buffalo Bills. And Dalton Kincaid kind of slides in like as the last elite level tight end. We talked about in all our draft strategy videos how you wanted to make sure that you were getting an elite level tight end in your draft, because this year there was a lot more than in past years. So that way you need to make sure that you get one of those guys, whether it was Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Trey McBride, Mark Andrews, or Dalton Kincaid. And Dalton Kincaid typically is the last one being selected, but he's playing in a top 5 offense projected by Vegas in the Buffalo Bills. And there's a ton of vacated targets, but he absolutely emerged late on into the season. And I think he's going to be the clear number 1 for our boy Josh Allen in this offense. So when we're taking all these facts into consideration, and then we start to look at some of these trades for Dalton Kincaid, things start to get a little bit interesting. If we look at 9-2, the thing that you're going to see with it is we see Dalton Kincaid and Justin Jefferson traded for Kyle Pitts and Jamar Chase. I have Jamar Chase 1 spot ahead of Dalton Kincaid. I have Jamar Chase 1 spot ahead of Justin Jefferson. I have Dalton Kincaid 1 spot ahead of Kyle Pitts, but I view Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase in a very similar tier. I do not view Dalton Kincaid or Kyle Pitts in a similar tier at all. So I think the major advantage in this deal is getting Dalton Kincaid and Justin Jefferson. And this is one of those deals where if you know one of your league mates, you have a guy in the same tier and you think this guy really likes my guy and I'm able to get a guy in a similar tier plus an additional value like we're talking about here with the Dalton Kincaid advantage, massive win on that Dalton Kincaid side. Move on to a few down, like we see this one, Dalton Kincaid, Romeo Dubs for Nico Collins, Christian Watson. You could probably convince me on that Nico Collins side. I think that's pretty valuable. Or Dalton Kincaid for Mark Andrews. I prefer Mark Andrews, but I understand if you got out of the draft, that might be somewhat of a decision. We look at this 9-2 deal. We got Dalton Kincaid, Xavier Worthy, Kyler Murray for Lamar, Dallas Goedert, Michael Pittman Jr. Listen, Kyler Murray is going about 2 rounds later than Lamar Jackson. So I understand Lamar Jackson is probably the creme of the creme in this deal, the top advantage. And if we're looking at the current differential, according to this trade analyzer, they're going to say that this team won on the right. I'm going to make the argument that the Dalton Kincaid side won because I have Kyler Murray very undervalued right now in fantasy football. I have him as a top 6 QB, so I really think you only drop 2 spots from Lamar to get to Kyler. You get the advantage of a huge upgrade from Dallas Goedert to Dalton Kincaid. And then Michael Pittman Jr., depending on how you view him, I think Xavier Worthy has high-end level upside. And so I think that difference of Xavier Worthy to Michael Pittman is enough for me to want to take the Dalton Kincaid, Xavier Worthy, Kyler Murray side over the Lamar Jackson, Dallas Goedert, and Michael Pittman Jr. side. You let me know down below. We even scrolled down. There's like a few trades like Dalton Kincaid and Josh Jacobs for Mark Andrews and Rashad White. I have these guys, like I said, super similar, but I have Rashad White and Josh Jacobs about a round apart at this point. So give me the Dalton Kincaid, Josh Jacobs side. Joe Mixon and David Njoku for Dalton Kincaid. Technically, Joe Mixon is going very similarly around a Dalton Kincaid, but let's say that you are playing like this is the 1 QB, 10 team, 0.5 PPR, start 8. If you feel super great about your running backs, maybe you went robust RB and you feel okay about your wide receivers and you're just trying to get that advantage at tight end, I wouldn't hate this deal at all. But then, of course, there's like the deal below where it's James Cook for Dalton Kincaid and DeAndre Hopkins. I prefer the James Cook side. So there's always something to be considering with trades. There's always winners and losers. And in multiple trades, we've even seen, even just in these trades, there are losers happening on a trade by trade basis. But my goal on this channel is to help you win your fantasy football league, to help you make the best trades possible, add the best waivers, help you with all your start, sit, and decisions. Not that I'm going to be correct all the time, because I'm not. It's a game of luck. It's a game of fun, but I'm here to help you do the best you can. So hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Check out these 2 videos. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. We're also going to be streaming tonight, so make sure you tune in Tuesday night. We will be streaming, answering all your start sit questions. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.